Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. I hope you're having a fantastic weekend. We're taking a quick look at Solana, seeing what's going on. Gonna check out the back-end liquidation data first, kind of jump on in there. And I just want to say thanks again for being an amazing part of my life. Congrats to my community members here for some nice profits on Bitcoin, Near Protocol, Avalanche, and that also kind of corresponds as well with my Premium Plus bots too. So if you're not familiar with this, we have a day trading fully automated passive income source there for our community. Generated about $636 on $50 per trade, $1,000 portfolio. So just know that's available through my Premium Plus there. We're still fine tuning it. That's why I recommend the low balance, but everything goes well. We'll have some nice extra passive income there for our community. So taking a quick look here at Solana, what I want to talk about here is, well, we discussed previously that resistance range at 140, a little bit above 140. We can see once again 136 to 140 here, some late shorts effectively trying to short the top. This is potentially a double top depending on how you look at it. Well, I'm kind of in agreement with shorting Solana soon. I think it's a little premature, a little early. I do think that we'll probably see the price go just a little bit higher, mainly because Bitcoin is probably going to hit its $86,000 CME gap in the near future. When that occurs, I'm leaning more towards a short on Bitcoin and or Solana. Between now and then, still feels like a little early, but I've been known to miss a lot of opportunities just because I'm a very patient trader. So, if you miss an opportunity, I'm sorry. Take what you hear and see here with a grain of salt, but also make sure you understand as well that the short-term trend is up. There's no reason to try to short against this yet, in my personal opinion, just based on the simple fact that there's a high amount of liquidation delta on both Bitcoin, Solana, and majority of altcoins. So it basically just implies that there's a lot of people taking longs right now. A lot of that hinges on the simple fact that we had a green Friday yesterday, and now we're just kind of coasting for the weekend. What happens almost 9 times out of 10, actually exactly 9 times out of 10 this year, every weekend has been red except for one weekend, okay? And what that basically just implies is that when we see a green Friday, we almost always see a red Sunday or Monday, okay? So profit will inevitably be taken. Right now, market makers are just kind of sitting on the sidelines, letting retail continue to drive the price up, and they're probably gonna sell when it hits that special point, whatever point that is. Key takeaway here though, based on open interest, there's a lot of support at 128. So please understand that we had a significant amount of buying pressure right at 128. Those are not people like you and I, folks. Keep in mind, we don't have this kind of volume. So the price drove up pretty fast and created a fair value gap because of that. So my speculation is that the price will start to reject out here in the relative near future between 138 and 140. At that point, consider a short down to the 126 area to fill the CME gap and to bounce off that local point of control. Those are the ways that I typically like to trade. But once more, these trades, you kind of got to watch the charts, and you can't just blindly open a short position at 140 in the dark. I just don't recommend it. So unfortunately, you can miss a lot of opportunities based on that. But that's generally what I like to look for. So let's take a look at the daily. We're under the 20-day SMA, not phenomenal until we're above that. Once more, there's that confluence at 138 to 140. And we're not in a good place to consider a long position. Same thing here as well. Nice to have the RSI above the moving average. Nice to have stochastic swinging up and money flow above the RSI. These are all constellations, but we're not over 50, and we don't have this official confirmation, in my opinion, things that I like to look for, that the price is going to continue tremendously higher. I think short term, yeah, we're going to hit this local point of control, 140, 142, probably pull back from there. So it's probably more realistically 142 would be a good idea for a short. After this area of confluence is tested. So that's kind of the idea there. The daily time frame is looking pretty decent. We're just not fully there yet. And I generally don't like to take trades until, we have that extra confirmation. So having said that, we're over the 20-day SMA, we're over the 50-day SMA. These are really, really positive signs. The 4-hour time frame is looking great. There's no other way around it, okay? So we're still under 70, but over 50 in the RSI. We're above the moving average. Money flow above the price action. This is like tried and true, everything I like to look for in taking a long position with confidence on the 4-hour time frame. I'm just a little leery that we're going to see a pullback here in the relative near future, this being a weekend, and taking along on the weekend just sounds like a bad idea right now. So however you want to organize it, the likelihood of further upside for Solana is there. It's totally there. Just be mindful and cautious. Make sure you adjust your stop loss higher. Push your stop loss into profit if you're in profit right now, and maybe consider waiting a little bit, not to long the top. While the price could break out and likely should, we can see this handle pattern forming here, which is basically just letting us know that we're in pretty good shape when we retest this level. Breakout makes more sense right now, okay? So everything here looks great on the hourly and the 4-hour time frame. I think further upside is highly likely. Just note that we have a lot of resistance at 140 to 142, 143. If I'm not mistaken, the daily time frame. Let's double check this here. There's a lot of, there's a local point of control at 140, we'll just say 143, 144. So I'm expecting the price to pull back in this range here. So 138 to 144 is a good area to consider shorting this coin. That's just me personally. It could totally break out and continue higher. In fact, it probably will based on the fact that I'm telling you it won't. But the truth is, this being a weekend, it's just a high risk scenario. So be very, very careful just taking a long right now at this exact time. While I think we still have a little bit of meat left on the bone, I don't think this is going to be a monumental increase just right now at this time. Cool. All right, so I don't know how else I can say it. I've said it a dozen times already. I think you get the point. I'll post a playout chart in our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. If you're not familiar, it looks a little something like this here. If you want to join us over at Premium Plus, phenomenal results here. This is awesome stuff. I'm super excited about it because it's been, I've had this resource for a couple of years, but the last couple of months been really fine tuning the take profit strategy, and it's super profitable at this point. I mean, we're up almost $600, 600 plus on $1,000 portfolio in less than 2 months. That's pretty solid in my opinion. So as it continues to grow, I'll continue to update you there. But thanks again for the awesome feedback. Glad it's working out well for a lot of folks. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Be safe out there, folks. We'll see you again tomorrow, or very soon rather. I'll see you back here on Monday. Take care.